Well, guys, I'm gonna sit down here in the camper again and relax and build my Lego that Jesse got me. I wish Mandy would get me a Lego ship. I guess Mandy doesn't love me as much as other people love me. I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know. Well, let's see here. Here's the Lego. Here's what I finished. Well, let's see here. Here's the Lego. Here's what I finished. My wife said that I was going to do this later, but my wife said that I can do this now if I want to. So, the boys are swimming by themselves. I'm in here. I'm going to finish number 3. I'm going to work on number 3. Or 2. I'm going to finish 2. 3 is not that much. So I'm going to finish 2. This is 2. There's 2 bags of 2. So I'm going to do number 2. And that's what my live stream is going to be on. Putting together number 2. Bag number 2. Okay. There's 2 bags. And we'll get all this stuff cleaned out here. I got my my light here. I've got this new light that kind of shines right on me. And I'm going to start, what I'm going to start doing is when I get back, I'm going to start doing videos upstairs in the shed. Because we've got these really cool tanks by IMAX. I want to put one of those tanks together. Because they're remote control tanks. And I think every kid should have one of these remote control tanks, honestly. That's my opinion. So we got to go, we got to find where bag 2s are. So we have to go to, okay, so bag 2 is right here. Okay, bag number 2. And we got to get this set in the right position. All right. So bag number 2. Let me get all the parts out for bag number 2. All right. Does everybody understand me? I know you guys are, I see, and I want to make this very clear to everybody, okay? Because I have to, everybody has to understand something about ProTinkerToys.com and about me and about what I do, okay? I understand that I am a face of ProTinkerToys.com. I understand that people like to see me. They want to hear from me. They like these videos, and I'm becoming popular. I understand that. I accept the responsibility that has been given to me, and I want to take that with a degree of honesty and acceptance. Mandy, I know Mandy absolutely adores me. I know that secretly Mandy, my daughter-in-laws, they actually really like me, and they cannot believe that how great I am. And they don't want to admit it, and I understand. I understand that they don't want to admit it, and I totally accept that. Okay, now there are lots of parts in here. Look at these. Look at all these parts. Look at all these. And you know what thing about Legos is? You're never going to miss a part. There's never going to be a part that's going to be missing when you buy a Lego. Look at all these parts. Oh my goodness. Look at all these. Holy cow. Oh, for the love of Mike, let's get some things kind of straightened out here so that we have a little bit more understanding of what we're doing here. Actually, I'm enjoying this because I'm inside the camper, my favorite camper. I love my camper. Well, I don't love it. I mean, I truly like my camper, and so we're going to get some of these bigger Legos all sorted out here so that we don't have to go looking for them when I need to find one. And I'm doing this because I know Jesse doesn't think I was ever going to put this together. And so I am doing this video because Jesse, my daughter-in-law, doesn't think I was going to put this together, okay? And so because Daniel said to me, Jesse doesn't think you're going to build this. And she got it to me for my birthday about 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's just 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's not like I could put this together overnight, you know. All right, so we have all these parts kind of organized. Really enjoying the video. Well, Nick, I'm really enjoying you. Okay, Nick. I am so glad that Nick watches me. I'm so glad that Anthony Bateman Sr. likes me. Okay, so I put that on wrong. Okay, so that is in the wrong position. So I have to go back here. All right, so that has to be put on differently. So I had one piece put on wrong. So I have to redo this. That has to go this way. And then that goes back together like this. There we go. Now what we need to do is we need to put this piece right here, and we gotta need to stick it right here. All right, so that piece is done. So now we go to the next page, page 51 of 250. I've got 200 more pages to go. All right, now we have to build several components. Okay, so we're gonna put this aside over here because we don't need this right now. Now I have to go and look at all these millions of pieces, and I have to grab one of these, and I have to grab, well, let's see here. I need a black, one of these, go right here. I need a black one right here. And then I need one of these tiny rods. That's too big. Now you have to make sure that you're looking for all the right parts, because sometimes they get inside another piece, and that's gray. So I need the gray piece is going in here. So that piece now is all ready. Okay, see that piece there is all ready. So we're going to put that down there. Oh, wait a minute. We got to also put one of these inside of one of these. And we have that piece. Now we're going to grab one of these. We're going to put one of these on. We're going to put one of these on. And now we're going to take this And we're going to double check when we look at it. We're going to snap that together. Now we have a complete, this is called the motorized mechanism arm. That's a I'm just going to make up names. That's a motorized mechanism arm. Now we need a brown piece. A brown piece and a brown gear. And we're going to put that together like this. This is called the motoric arm differential. We are now putting together the differential mechanism arm component. And we're going to then put one of these gear mechanisms right here. So now we have this is going to be the differential arm mechanism, okay? Differential arm mechanism. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just making up names as I go. So we want to make sure that that is all correct, because then what we have to do is get the other arm of the differential mechanism gear. Now we have the differential arm gear complete. Now we have to move on to step number 2, which is getting the differential mechanism arm we need to get one of these and another brown piece. We got to find another one of those brown pieces. There we go. The differential arm mechanism is almost finished. Now we move on to page number 54. Now we have to make sure that the differential arm mechanism has the correct differential arm mechanism has to be the right depth, because this is going to move the differential arm mechanism. See how the differential arm mechanism now is moving freely? Now we take another differential arm mechanism. And we're going to stick it in here. So, as you can see, when I'm turning the differential arm mechanism, that will give the differential arm mechanism more of a movement. And now what we're going to do is hook up the differential arm mechanism to the other side of the gear mechanism. So we need the other side of the gear mechanism, which is the pinion gear mechanism. This is the pinion gear mechanism that we're going to stick in here. And we're then going to put that in the side gear mechanism of the and so now we have the differential arm mechanism that will allow to turn freely with the differential arm mechanism. As you can see, that is turning the differential arm mechanism freely. See that? Why they have that there, I have no idea. I'm not going to complain. Now we are moving to the top of the arm differential mechanism. We're going to put on a crown. The crown is going to go on top of that, and then we are going to put another long differential arm mechanism stabilization core. Okay, so now we have that on there. Now we're going to build the this is going to take a lot of parts. This is going to be called the multi-transfer stabilizer, and we're going to get the molecular stabilizer. We're going to put that together. So we have those two pieces on here. Then we're going to take one of these stabilizer extender arms. We're going to put that on there, and then we're going to take the rotating arm, the rotating clip arm, now we're going to take a U joint. We're going to put a U joint on. So the molecular structure arm is connected. So we have all these parts put together. Now we can turn the page. And now we are mobilizing into the molecular arm structure. And we need a blue piece, which is going to be this piece. We have to make sure that it's in the right position, because that's going to go through the U joint and the molecular arm structure. And then we're going to get a black piece again, and we're going to put that on here like this. Now that stabilizes that. Then we need one of these. That's going to go right here. Okay, then we are going to take one of the base plates. We're going to snap that. Now we get the U-joint arms. We got to put a U-joint arm right here. U-joint arm now is put together. Now we've got to build two ankle arms. We got to build two ankle arms. We got to grab two ankle arms. These are the ankle arms. And then we're going to put one of these on here. We got to build two of these. We got one ankle arm and the second ankle arm. Then we have to put on the blue U-joint connector arm. U-joint connector arm. Now, just so you know, these are all technical terms that I'm talking about here. I know a lot of you people don't understand a lot of technical stuff, and I want you to understand that I understand, that you understand, that I understand that you don't understand this. Okay? And that's okay. Okay, so we've got one of these molecular arm structures there. Now we need a long steel brace. We have a long steel brace. We got to flip this around like this. We got to put 4 blue connector joints on. Connector joints on. We're going to put 4 connector joints on. 4 connector joints. Blue connector joints. And then we are going to use a stabilizer, white stabilizer long joint. Stabilizer long joint. And we're going to slide that together like that. Now we have, we're moving along onto the next page. Now we're going to then connect, making sure everything is correct. Yep. Now we're going to take one of the base plates and connect it here. But before we do that, we have to put the base plate together. So I need 4 L joints. Actually, I need 2 L joints. And we're going to set that right like this. So we need 2 black connector pins, C5142s. So we're connecting the C5412s. Okay, we got that correct. Now we need some of the red C412s. The C412s, we're going to put that right here. And then we need the blue cap taps. Red cap tap. Then we need to read the red cap tap with the C412s, and then we are going to tap the C417s. They're going to connect right here, and we have that right here. The C417s are going to be connected to C418, 9, and 10s. So we have that all together. Now what we do is we attach the stabilizer U-joint. Stabilizer U-joint, and we're going to attach that right like that. So now we have the stabilizer U-joint in which we can put it onto our universal base plate and connect it to there like that. So that's now connected to our universal stabilizer, to the C4172s, and the C4173s will then hold on to the C4174s. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do that again. We have to reverse that, but it has to be the opposite direction because this one's going to be on the other side of the C172s. This will be the C174s. And we're going to take another one of these, and we're going to take 2 of the black C4176s and the 94174s. We're going to put that in here like that. Where they're going to take the red C1247, and we're going to put the blue top cap on that. And then we're going to get the red universal connector joint, put that, and then we're going to take another one of the beveled C417s, and we're going to connect that right here to the C4172s. Now we're then going to connect this to the other side of the other C417 base plate, because now we are making the base to the rover. Okay, that's going to go on top of the rover like this. Okay, now so far we want to do an inspection. We want to make sure that we have a correct representation of the base plates. Make sure the base plates are connected to the top plates, and your C4172s and your C715s are connected all together. Now as we move to the next page, we don't necessarily need this now. We can set this aside because this is going to be put probably right here. Now we have to build some more small parts. So we need to get a couple white long plates along with some black connector C4172s. We're going to put those on here. Okay, now we've got this looking here. Now need to grab some double O, I call them binocular universal clips. We got binocular universal clips, got some blue C4179s, along with the long binocular with the beveled connector unit. We're going to push that in there like that. We got that right like that. So we have one of these. We need to build two of these because it needs a double stabilizer connector joint and a double beveled connector long unit. I understand if you guys don't understand all this stuff, it's very complicated to me, but because I'm an expert at Lego building, I understand all of the dynamics that you must understand when you are building a Lego. Okay, everything has a specific terminal name, and now we have a stabilizer plate, long base plate number C5142. Now we're going to take some of the black connector points. We're going to connect these black temper points to this connector 1947s. Okay, 9417s are now going to be connected to the rotate plate, and that's going to go facing out of the stabilizing top plate bevel arm. And now we're going to take and put the curved front unit of the 9417 bumper unit. This will now be technically called the bumper unit. And so that is the bumper unit. I want to make sure I've got all parts, but yeah, the bumper unit is now connected. Now what we do is we take the unit here, the C4172, and we're going to attach the bumper unit to the front of the Rover. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we are going to look at this to make sure that everything is correct. And now what we're going to do is we're going to mount it to the main terminal 5712 connector unit. And we got to make sure that we have this all in the right positions, making sure that everything is correct. 221, 221. And this now will be connected to the this will now be connected to the base, to the Rover. We've now connected the bottom of the Rover, which gives us our bumper here. This is called the lunar or the Mars bumper. They have to have this so in case it scrapes the bottom of the lunar or the Mars surface, that it doesn't damage the solar panels. Okay, so this is the solar molecular bumper panel. We've got our rotating clip arm. Now we've finished the bottom part of our Rover 74125. So the 74125 bumper unit is now finished. We now then can turn to a very complex, because they have a very complex picture here. Okay, now this means that this is very highly technical. Okay, only a skilled person understands what this is right here. Okay, all right. So now we have to get our unit. We have to turn it upside down, make sure it's in the right position, and uh-oh. Okay, I see it. All right, now we need to take one of our U-joint 7412s. We need one of these 7412 joints, and we need to attach this part to it. Now we have a U-joint 741. Along with a long joint number 542s. Now we need the blue cap taps or white cap taps. And then another blue. We need a white or red spindle cap. Red spindle cap. Now we need another blue retaining clip joint along with a white retaining clip. Now we need the universal butt joint. Now we have the rotator fins, the landing rotator fins. These help the lander land on Mars. These are called the rotator fins because they guide the lander onto Mars. Okay. Well, we have to go look at a picture before we do this because I think I did something wrong. Sometimes when I'm doing this and I'm talking, I do make mistakes. But it's very easy to correct your mistake when you're watching this. Alright, so we got that done. Now we go back to the now this should fit together like this. All right. Now I need 2 more of these. Well, let's see here. We have to attach the C512 part. 22 goes into this C191 part. That's going to connect here. And we have to put that one on this side. All right, so that's done. We fixed that, got that part, that. Now, oh, we got to put these stupid JPL lab decals, Jet Propulsion Laboratories. We have to put these on these units. NASA. And those are part of the front bumper UL417s. Okay, so we have those decals. So that's finished for right now. Now we're going to be going into the motor differential. The motor differential, we're going to use the, this is called a universal turn joint, a universal turn joint. These are a brand new part. This is a universal turn joint. Now what we have to do is use a long piece. Let's see here. One of these. Now we have to put the universal long joint in here, along with we need a retaining. This is called a spacer, an oil spacer, so that the mechanism in space does not get in lock mechanism on the mission to Mars. Okay, so this, and then we normally you would fill this with oil here, because this is your locking universal joint right here. See, that's your locking universal joint. This is what's going to give you all your power to your treads, your drivetrain, and your now we got to pull this down because we have another universal connector joint called the U4751 joint. The U4751 joint now needs to be put together. We need another U7496 joint, along with the stabilizing pivot arm. We have to get a pivot arm into the U-joint 741. So we got to put that right here, and then we need a universal connecting joint, number black. It's basically a connector joint for all your pivot parts, so that we have a slight and a free moving, because we have to connect this joint to this joint. We have to slide this up now. It says an arrow pointing up. So we have to get this up into the universal joint. And then we have a C417 universal connector point. So we now have the double universal joint. Now we have to push the pivot arm to the right position. But before that, we need to have another. So this is the universal joint mechanism that will help propel the rover on the ground. And it has to have a universal joint mechanism. I guess those morons at the JPL, I don't have much faith of the JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I think they're a little quacky. So we have our universal, this is our universal drive joint. As you can see, it doesn't matter where you're going, it's still going to drive. Now normally they would have this in a universal pre-filled with WD-40. That's right, WD-40. Dustin's watching. Who else is watching? Not many people are watching. I don't think they like this. Okay, so now we move right along. We now have to mount the universal joint into the other sprocket, and uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, I got it backwards. Oh shoot. Well, that's what happens when you get talking. So what I have to do is I have to take off this bottom plate again. I got to do a double check and make sure that I have it correctly mounted. Oh, shoot, I knew this was going to happen. This piece right here was the complicating piece. See, they show these I did this correct. Look. Okay, this piece is here with this U-joint connector unit right here, and this shows it on top, not on the bottom. So this is correct. All right, so I've got that correct. That is correct right there. That shows exactly. And then the bumper unit, Okay, so this is upside down, which shows the bumper like this. So I turn this way. That's the problem with Technics. You really 1, 2, all right, so technically that is supposed to go like this. Yes, okay. All right, I got it. So we had a little bit of technical problem, and we fixed it. I've got it. The pictures are a little not confusing. It's just if you're not watching it, because the universal joint, the universal drivetrain has to go here. Okay. The universal drive joint has to go here, but it also has to connect here, and then it has to go down into the universal connector joint. All right, so those two universal stabilizer joints, those are correct. Now we get back onto our rudder fins, our stabilizer fins. Okay, so we're going to get our stabilizer fins into their correct position. And this is the new Rover, item number, what is the item number? I don't know what the item number is. Okay, well, we fixed that. We got everything fixed. Now we need our base plate 5714, along with a black connector clip and a blue connector clip. And then we have to attach a long joint along with another black connector point, number 341C. And then we're going to connect another one along with a universal sprocket, a universal C41 sprocket. C41 sprocket. And then we've got that. Now we need to build a couple of the differential pivot points. And a blue retaining sprocket. And then we're going to take that and we're going to mount it to the base unit C41. And then we've got a double small mini sprocket that we're going to put a long bracket and a short bracket. And then we're going to mount that. Okay, now what we need is another decal, which is decal number 10. Another long joint. I need two of the blue long retaining clips. Alrighty, so we got that finished. Now, we need 4 C419 black connector clips. These are your primary connecting clips, and that holds the base unit to the structural unit. Now we are going to then move on to the C4175 rotator clips. So we need a red long connector, on both ends of the sprocket joint. Then we're going to connect that through there. And then we take a blue connector unit, and then we're going to take a black connector unit. Now we need 2 of these, so we're going to lay that one here. We're going to grab another unit, put that in here, put that in here, stick that in here, get a blue one right here. And then a black one. We need a black retainer clip at the end. So we have both of these. Now we'll both connect those like this. Now that's part of our 941 base plate. 941 base plate. Now we have our landing bay base, or landing protecting base plate. This protects the bottom of the rover, and in case of damage. And now we need to get our extender clips. extender clips. Now we're going to put this right here. There we go. Now we have our base unit and our C4197 extender clip. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab another long one with two black connector joints, and we're going to take those and we're going to connect this like this. Yep. And put on the base plate connector unit. I need two of the blue extender joint pivot points along with the pivot point joint unit that is going to be mounted right here. So we have those there, we have these here. So we basically have a complete base unit to our drive unit. Now what we have to do is put on our connecting clips. Now here is where it's going to determine how far we are and how well we are connecting our 9712s, because we forgot our universal pivot joints. These are our universal pivot joints. Okay, so now we put our universal pivot joints in here like this. Now what we do is we make sure that we have everything. We got that there. Now we are going to mount the top plate to the unit, and we have to make sure that all the joints are going to go through the correct pivot points. Everything lines up. Everything is so. Then, now everything lines up. Okay, now what we do is we push in our extra pivot points. So what these do is these stabilize your overall structural pun unit, okay? And these basically give this thing a sense of stability. Now all of the machinery is inside of here. Hopefully it all works. All right, so we're going to set that over here right now because we want to make sure that we have it all jointed together correctly. Now, we got to push all this down. Okay, so that's all down. Everything is snapped, secured. Okay. Now we need to put some retaining clip. Okay, now... Okay, we got those there, those there, those there, those there. Okay, so everything right now is technically correct. Okay? Everything is technically correct. Now what we're doing, now we, oh no, I made one mistake. Oh shoot. All right, we have a problem here. Houston, we have a problem. Now, I hope this works out. I have no idea if this is going to work out, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to, based on their instructions, I see a problem. I see a problem. Now, it shows me that this is supposed to go right through there and touch that piece right here. Well, I don't like this. Well, it shows that being connected. All right, I'm having a little bit of problems, but I'm not going to deal with it right now. I have a feeling that it's something that's going to have to be put together later. So I'm just going to keep on working. Now we have the landing flarings. These are what helps it land on Mars. The landing flares. Now we got a L joint, U joint 741, and a retaining clip C412. That's going to get attached to a long plate with two black ones, two red sync units, and then we have an L joint unit 7. Now we're going to do the other landing joint C412s. C412 that needs a red interconnector lock unit with a okay, that L joint 741 is mounted. Now we move on to the right rudder fin 714. We're almost done with page number 2, if you can believe it. Now we're going to take an elbow joint 741 type, put in a blue unit, two red flush units, we got two flush units, and then a blue sinker unit. A blue sinker unit now is going to go in. Now we're going to mount that to the long plate. And we're now going to mount that there. Now we're going to take the control arm level unit 741s, and we're going to mount that to the bracket unit L41, and then we double check. And now we're going to mount that to the unit. There we go. So we have that unit there, that unit there. There we go. Okay, so we got that mounted. Now we're down to the 74121 units. Then our U-joint, our blue connector unit, and then we tape in another red All right, that's done. Universal connector, a blue C51. Then we are going to connect a connector joint 741. Then we got to connect an an angle joint 741. Connected into that. Now we have a flexing C41 joint. Now we have a landing breastplate. So the landing breastplate Alrighty. There's a couple pieces that I'm confused on, so I'm not going to let it get me upset right now. I'm just going to put together the rest of the things. Now we're putting together the rectifier arm. Well, we're almost done. I got we just have to get the rectifier arm connected to the nectifier arm. And once that gets connected, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so those are the pieces that I still have. And now what I have to do is go back. I gotta go all the way back to here. Okay, we are at the done of page 3. I got to go through and find out where some of these parts go. But so far we've got the main base plate done. I don't know how these gears are going to work. Something's not lining up right. I don't know how that's going to work in. I think I'm going to have to take this apart because something doesn't line up. See, this is all the arm. There's 40 pages of just the arm. So that's just the arm. No, they're the legs. See, this right here, this is what I don't understand, how that... Well, I don't see where these parts are anywhere on the pages that I was in. Well, it looks like we've finished the main body unit. Now I have to build the legs. Man, those are complicated. So we've got this. And page 3 is, those are all the, man, thousands of connector parts. That's these are page 3. These are all the legs. Everything to do with the legs are right here. Or the walkers. So we're gonna say adios amigos. We got 13 people watching. Wow, that's exciting. Unbelievable. All that for 13 people? Come on, man. All right, we'll see you guys later. Adios, amigos. Adios, amigos. 13 people. Unbelievable. See you later.